How to photograph family formals fast and efficiently on a wedding day. Have you ever been a guest or another family member at another wedding and it just felt like family formals took forever? Like it felt like you're there for 30 to 45 minutes and you could feel that the photographer didn't really know what they were doing or didn't really have a good organized plan, and so everything just took longer than it should have, and it just felt long and dragged out, and it was just not a very fun experience to have right after the ceremony, right after they got married. So I've made this video today to really help you understand how I photograph family formals fast and efficiently on a wedding day. And I don't just show up and take photos. There's a lot of planning that goes into actually showing up prepared to make these family formals feel smooth and just overall really professional, amazing experience for everyone involved. So I'm gonna get right into how I would prepare to do family formals really fast and efficiently on a wedding day right now. Number one, smooth family formals requires planning in advance. I don't think you can show up to a wedding day and just take pictures of all the groups of people and have it be smooth, because there's going to be certain groups of people that the couple really wants to have photographed on that day. And if you're trying to figure that out right after the ceremony in that moment, it is going to be way too crazy. So it is super important that you as a photographer take the lead. About 2 months before the wedding date, you want to help the couple create a family formals list so that you know the exact shots that need to be photographed right after the ceremony ends with the family. That way it goes really fast. And this can only be done with proper education and proper help from you as a photographer to your couple. So what type of in advance planning does this really involve? So number two is you need to gather a family formals list from your couple about 2 months before the wedding date via a questionnaire that you email to them or send it to them via Honeybook, CloudSpot, different things like that you can use to send them a questionnaire, or just a Microsoft Word document where you have all these questions laid out for them. But I recommend having a really nice questionnaire that you can send to them that's really professional. That way it's really easy for them to fill out, and it just keeps all the information organized for you to see there. So you basically need to gather this list for them 2 months before the wedding date, and it needs to be literally first names. I'm talking bride and groom with Jerry, Paula, Zach, Angela. It needs to say exactly who you want in that photo for each photo. And I recommend doing no more than 10 to 12 groupings of people after this ceremony. That way family formals can go quickly and you can get into bridal party portraits and then romantic portraits, and then into the party, the reception, all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for watching this video today. My name is Jennifer Cook. My husband and I are wedding photographers serving both Tennessee and Virginia. And this is a place where we just like to share education for the photographers and other business owners, and really just we share any tips, anything we've learned throughout our business journey. So if you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, then you can like this video and also subscribe to the channel. That way you can see when we have more educational and helpful, inspirational videos coming out for you to watch. Leave a comment if there's something else on a wedding day that you'd like to see and learn about, or it can be anything else photography or business related that you'd like to see me make a video about. So go ahead and do that, and we're gonna get right back into watching the rest of this family formals how to do it fast video. Number three, once you've gathered this information from the couple, you then need to set up some type of video call. You can use Zoom, you can use Microsoft Teams, you could probably even use Google Meets. I use Zoom currently with my couples. So you want to set up a Zoom call with the couple to go over your wedding photography timeline with them, and also that family formals list to make sure that they have everything in it they want. And you also just want to structure and organize it in the best possible order. The best possible order is going from largest grouping of people to the smallest grouping of people. But sometimes the situation's it's hot outside, we don't want the grandparents to be outside very long, so you want to have maybe the grandparents need to go closer up to the top than at the bottom. So you do have to kind of make adjustments depending on the people who are attending the wedding in different situations. One situation was, if someone has to leave early, they might need to go close to the top. So things like that, but you really want to try to have an order so that when you actually get there on wedding day, you can just go through the order and things will go a lot smoother that way. That way you can check things off as you go. And having this Zoom call with the couple really helps to get everything figured out and reorganize everything, which is number 4, which is reorganize the list to make it smooth and efficient. And again, I said about 10 to 12 groups of people max so we can get through it fast. If there are any other groups of people that do want to be photographed, you can do this during the reception. Like, it is not a problem to do other family photos during the reception later on in the day, but do make a note of this in your timeline so you don't forget. You want to make sure that your couple gets all of their important photos they want on their wedding day, so just make sure you as the photographer are organized and have everything written down in the places it needs to happen throughout the day. Number 5 is that you need to print out a physical copy of the wedding day photography timeline with the family formals list listed out like in the family formal spot right after the ceremony. That way you can have your second photographer or assistant, or it might have to be you, go through and like check off everything and make sure you're getting all the groupings when you're actually photographing after the ceremony ends. On wedding day, I normally have Daniel, my husband and second shooter, read out the names of everyone, and also he'll like check off as we go. Because sometimes funny things happen, like someone, has to leave early, so we might do someone earlier than later. And so he goes through and makes sure that we have gotten everyone and haven't missed like a line of one of the groupings, because that'd be really bad and not good at all. So Daniel goes through a list and makes sure that we are checking off all the groupings of people. The goal of all this is that you are able to crush family formals within 20 minutes or less. We really don't want it to take any longer than that, because if it does, it'll go into bridal party portrait time, or it'll also, go into the romantic portrait time, and we don't want that. We want to make sure that the bridal party has their time, and then the couple has their time for portraits. And you also don't want to make the family wait that long, especially if it's in the hot heat of summer, because I've done that, and it's just, I go as fast as I possibly can so that I can get people inside, because I know people are really wanting to get to cocktail hour. They want to go get those refreshments that all the guests are getting into already, and so I want to get them there as quick as possible. And overall, I just want it to be a fun, smooth, happy experience for everyone involved. Overall, you don't want to miss a single family formal, so make sure you're checking it off as you go and that you have planned this list ahead of time. That way you can get through all these photos as fast as you possibly can so that the family can go enjoy cocktail hour with the rest of the guests. That really sums up how I normally photograph family formals on a wedding day. I pretty much go bing, bing, bing right through it, but it also takes a lot of planning that I do in advance with the couple. And let me tell you just like how many of my couples like thank me for that, and like even like planners and coordinators are really thankful of how on top of the list and everything I am, because they really don't have to worry about a thing, and I am able to go really quickly through it, and we don't have situations where we're like, oh, like what's next, like what, there's not as much confusion as could happen if I did not have a list. I could not imagine going into a wedding day without a list. Now it would be honestly pretty horrendous, and it would not be a fun experience for anyone at all. I do actually have a fun story of one wedding. We actually did family formals in 11 minutes, which is crazy. This was the only wedding that we ever did family formals in that short of a time. And I am going to make a YouTube video at some point about that, just telling that story and how we did that, and just all that went into, that quick speed and delivery of family formal time. And when that video is up, it'll be somewhere on my channel here. I'll probably link it to the end of this video. That way, if you want to go see how we did that, then you can totally do that. But I would just say that the one thing that really helps speed up family formals is when you have an assistant or second photographer. So in my case, it's always Daniel, pretty much when I'm doing weddings, in which he will read out the names. And that way I don't have to look at the piece of paper. I can just focus on arranging people up at the front, just helping getting everyone posed. That way I can focus on kind of the composition of the photograph, making sure everyone looks really symmetrical, depending on if they're by an arbor, making sure it's centered, everything like that. And it helps me to focus on that. That way I don't have to worry about who's actually supposed to be in this photo, because Daniel's the one calling people up, and he's making sure that everyone's in the photo that we need. And then I'm basically just putting everyone where they need to go, and then making sure their eyes are open looking at me smiling for the photo. And I really do think that that does help to speed up the process a lot on wedding day. Without Daniel, I'd have to go back and forth between looking at the paper and arranging people, and just that 30 seconds of having to look at the paper, even if it's 15 seconds, it can kind of it can kind of bring me out of my flow of just arranging people and just, going photo after photo after photo. One other thing I want to say is that I think it's a really good idea at the beginning of family formals to introduce yourself to all the family, all the people there. So this can be done right after the ceremony ends and all the guests have left. And basically just you want to present yourself as the professional who is helping this day go really, really well for the couple as far as photos. You basically just want to step in there and say something like this: I'm Jennifer Cook, and I want to thank you all for being here today to celebrate da 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 da. And I just want to thank you for your patience today as we do these family formals. We're going to try to do them as quickly as possible. So if you could please just listen for your name to be called and come up when you hear it, that'd be awesome. We should be able to get through these really fast and get you to cocktail hour like lickety split or something like that. So basically you want to present yourself as this person who is trying to get through as quickly as possible, but also make it fun. And you know, it's not, you don't want it to be boring for them. You want it to be smooth, like fun process. And so that we can get them into cocktail hour as soon as we can. So if you present yourself like that from the beginning, I think it'll help people feel a little more like, oh, well, she's talking to me and she's not bossing me around. Like, she just wants to get through this quickly and then, you know, let me go off. And so I think introducing yourself helps to do that at the front and thanking people for their patience throughout the process. Okay, wedding photographers, the next video is actually an honest review video about my Godox flash system that I use on wedding days. I love this flash system because it's affordable and it works amazing. It's done everything I need it to. So if you want to go check out that video, it will be next.